Taliban.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah. Jumpin', them boys up to something.
Basketball shoes and apparel have never been desired by consumers to this extent. The sport marketing world and the value of basketball has grown exponentially in unison with the desire of consumers, creating a boom in athlete apparel sponsorship. How could one school teacher possibly be responsible for revolutionizing a realm of sport marketing and the creation of sneakerhead culture?
Jumpin', them boys up to something. I think I need some Robitussin. Way too many questions.
Paul Vincent Sonny Vaccaro
Was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Nicknamed Sonny because he was a shining light in his mother's life, where he also went on to become a shining light in the sport marketing world. Sonny Vaccaro's reign into being one of sports marketing's most influential pioneers was due in part into his ability to creating meaningful relationships with athletes.
Thank you again, Sonny.
Sonny became the first person ever to create an all-star high school basketball game called the Dapper Dan Brown Ball Classic. This game consisted of the best high school basketball players in America, which gained a lot of attention from spectators and other university coaches, hoping to get a glimpse of potential talent.
One of the things that I noticed about him is that he spent more time with the kids than he did with the coaches, and that impressed me.
Sonny spent lots of time with these kids outside of the All-Star game, demonstrating long-term commitment. This includes moving from Pittsburgh to New York, so that he could be closer to make monthly visits to one particular player. Sonny demonstrated relational compatibility by growing an afro in the 1960s.
Part of my persona, it was just something natural.
He did this to immerse himself into the culture of these young basketball athletes to gain their trust.
Sonny was the hood. He knew basketball players. He had our trust.
You're a big part of my life.
He's like the guru of basketball.
Collaborative behavior was communicated through the purpose, creation, and sustainment of the All-Star game. Sonny expressed a naturalistic care to these kids that allowed him to further increase his marketing influence through relationship building.
New way of doing business, and it all focused on how you could establish relationships with high school basketball players.
Sonny, by making these efforts, helped gain in praises from several coaches and players.
Very few opportunities to see a lot of players all at once, and Sonny afforded us that.
Every step Sonny took in his influence in the high school spectrum of basketball allowed him to create natural, meaningful relationships, which is exactly what allowed him to become who he's known to be today.
He likes to get them wearing Nikes while they're still young.
Basketball is my favorite sport.
Sonny operated in those gray areas.
He was the most powerful actor in that industry. He absolutely is the creator of a system where people profit off kids.
But what led Sonny to be deemed as one of the most influential people in sports marketing was his employment tenure with Nike during the 1970s, when Nike was only known as a running shoe company. Sonny decided to design a leather basketball shoe after many players expressed the need for a specific shoe. Eventually, Sonny met with Nike CEO Phil Knight, and together they saw the potential basketball had for a lucrative business industry.
You want to get involved in college basketball? Pay the coaches. We'll give free shoes to all the teams, and the kids will wear the shoes.
Remember, this was during the 1970s. College players were buying their own shoes, and most of them didn't even have sweatsuits. Sonny also came up with the idea of using grassroots college programs to Nike's marketing advantage. So Sonny said, "Let me pay them."
And you're making, as a head coach, first year, $25,000, and you're starting to hear about, well, they're going to pay you and give you sneakers. And I'm going, that sounds pretty good.
This evolved Sonny's dyadic relationship with coaches and recruits to non-dyadic complex relationships that was mutually beneficial for all parties. The idea was to psychologically condition kids at a young age into affiliating Nike with basketball. Nike's brand effect psychologically got kids to become attached to their brand, as early as when they played their first games at a Nike camp or tournament. Sonny's hope was that these kids who participated in Nike camps would become lifelong fans of the brand and later develop a strong brand loyalty with Nike. This is evident today, as we see top high school athletes choose what programs to play for and how college coaches recruit their players. By the time these athletes get to college, they already have associated a brand loyalty and perceived quality of the brand they've been wearing throughout their years playing basketball. Nike has established itself as a leading brand in basketball. They continue to uphold the reputation by sponsoring big tournaments like the Nike Jewel League and affiliating themselves with the best NBA athletes, including LeBron James. Sonny's train of thought has shaped the way on how collegiate athletic programs are sponsored, producing the multi-billion-dollar industry that exists today, thus prompting the most monumental milestone in Sonny Vaccaro's career, and the deal that legitimized Nike as a top apparel provider, the signing of the one and the only Michael Jordan.
The inbound pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good!
At the time of his signing, Sonny Vaccaro was taking a risk by getting an unproven athlete to sign an endorsement deal, as such deals were only offered to proven athletes. This was the first time an athlete received sponsorship prior to proving themselves in the big leagues, and influenced others to do the same. Big baller brand. By forming this deal, Sonny was able to transform how companies value the marketing ability, creating the modern-day market of lucrative sports sponsorship and personalized sneaker deals. As you may know, high risk equates to high reward, as Nike and Michael Jordan mutually benefited with the partnership, as Jordan helped establish Nike as a premier apparel provider, while simultaneously Jordan branching off of Nike to create his own personal brand.
We were going to name a shoe after you.
One huge factor in building the Jordan brand with Nike was the inclusion of a signature shoe in the endorsement deal. This endorsement of Jordan is what virtually created the marketing giant that is Nike today, and created a lucrative revenue-generating sneakerhead culture. The Jordan brand remains effective in using both pathways of the elaboration likelihood model, creating desirable attitudes towards the brand. As the Jordan brand matured, so did their marketing approach. Jordan used a central approach more times than not, showcasing Jordan's great ability and attributing his shoes to his dynamic talent.
Money's gotta be the shoes! Shoes!
Jordan and Nike did an excellent job of business-to-business marketing, using the likeness of other brands and businesses for the beneficial bilateral image transfer. Today, the Jordan brand relies on the associative memory effects instilled in the general population, created from the historic moments and elite legacy created by the great Michael Jordan. After leaving Nike, Sonny Vaccaro was able to replicate his marketing success by replicating the deal done for another star athlete with tremendous talent.
When you think about Michael Jordan, the closest to get to Michael has been Kobe Bryant.
Sonny Vaccaro was able to get this deal done for Adidas using the same tremendous relationship marketing skills that made him the sport sponsorship pioneer he is today. These innovations have substantially altered the way sport marketing and sponsorships are done. The originality of Sonny's contributions in the realm of sport has solidified himself as a marketing pioneer.
He was a legend. He was the guy who signed Jordan.
He walks outside and he has on these red and black Jordans. And I just remember all of us going, ooh.
What you rockin' ZO2s?
Oh, you guys thought this was over? Don't you know that Sonny paved the way for new marketing opportunities to occur at any time? You just never know who might walk through that door.
Shout out to Beast cause I keep me a lot on me. Shout out to everyone doubting me. Changing the game and they make cause I'm charging fees. Know the name, you see the fame. All my socials got the check.